Hello, my name is Lee Hazelwood of Secure Thinking, and I help individuals and businesses protect sensitive information. The video you're about to see is a brief guide on how to stay secure in an online world. Good afternoon, Secure Thinking, Lee Hazelwood.
Oh, hello there. Can you help me with the security problem I'm having, please?
Yeah, what's the problem? What we're about is helping people protect businesses and their personal and professional status. Securing the world's data and protecting critical information through the coordinated use of technology, education and business processes. We try and do that in a way that doesn't use too much jargon, scare tactics or hype. We will always offer simple but effective solutions and advice. It can cost you up to £8,000 to clear your name and repair the damage should you be the victim of a full-on identity theft. I don't know about you, but I'll be careful with my personal details now I know that. The ID theft cost to the UK economy is £1.2 billion. The cost per record to businesses following a data loss is £64 per record. And the black market price of an identity is £50. And 58% of companies have experienced a data breach in the last 2 years. 1 in 3 employees admit they would steal company data. So who do the threats to the online community come from? Well, historically they were script kiddies, hackers and people out to prove a point or simply that they could do it. These days it's big business and it's being done by criminal gangs, hacktivists, people with a cause who want to cause major disruption, and even nation states. The main thing these groups have in common is that they are well organised, well financed, professional and very, very capable. They employ the best technical skills they can get their hands on. So how do they get your information? Well, they use a range of tactics. They create and distribute computer viruses. They send spam emails attempting to lure you into visiting bogus websites that simulate a real, genuine site. They hack legitimate websites that contain security holes and use them to distribute malware to visitors and users. They scare you into believing your computer is already infected with a virus and get you to download a so-called fix. This will normally cost you money and then either do nothing or install further viruses and malware to keep track of your online activities. So what do these people want? They want your credit card details and access to your bank accounts. But it's more than that. They want any and all information they can use to fake your identity. That way they can create duplicate accounts to con others, and it's you who will have to spend the time and effort proving it had nothing to do with you. They also want usernames, email addresses and passwords because they know you will almost certainly reuse them across multiple online systems, and they can try and access other locations to get more information about you. So why do they go to all this trouble? The answer is obvious. It's big money. Facebook has 600 million users. If a scammer can gain access to the identities of just 0.5% of those users, that's 3 million users. At a black market price of £50 per identity, that's potentially worth £150 million. In fact, I'm in the wrong business. So how do we protect ourselves? When we're doing things online, we should assume that all we do is potentially public. The sites we visit track our actions through cookies and other methods. What we post online is potentially there forever. Unlike you and I, the internet doesn't forget what you did while drunk last night. The social networking sites are constantly changing their terms and conditions and security settings, so what is private now might not be tomorrow. They are under pressure from advertisers, marketers and shareholders to gain access to more about you, because ultimately they are a business and they exist to make money. So do you have a website? And if so, have you ever tested the security of your site? No? Why ever not? Websites are a great way for criminals to gain access to people's information. They scan the internet looking for websites with security holes. They do it using automated tools which can do the work of hundreds of skilled hackers. You don't have to have a fancy website containing lots of credit card numbers, personal details or bank records to be at risk. Any website can be used because it's not the website owner they want to get at. It's their visitors, customers or staff. The recent attacks on Sony weren't an attempt to get at the finances of Sony themselves. The perpetrators were after their customers' details. There are ways of ensuring a website is more secure. HTTPS with the little lock icon provides increased security and should always be used on sites where you enter passwords or other personal or financial information. Websites should have their own valid security certificates if they are involved in any kind of financial or personal transactions. You should not allow the site or your browser to remember your credentials. Websites should never remember your passwords. They should only store the encrypted result of your password. They should also never email your password. Email is rarely secure, as we will see later. So do you shop online? Most of us do. Do you use a credit card or a debit card? Generally, credit cards offer more protection against online fraud than debit cards. In addition, if you have a dispute with a credit card company, they are out of pocket until it's resolved. If you use a debit card, it's probably you that's out of pocket until you agree responsibility. Use different passwords on different online systems. If you have to, create a system you can use to help you remember your passwords, but don't reuse passwords on different systems. Lie on the security questions. Mother's maiden name, give her first or middle name. Date of birth, pick the cat's or VE day. Just remember what you said and where. The reason for this is simple. If someone gains access to your personal details, any attempts to gain access to your online life will fail. Do you use internet banking? Okay, some people do. Never click on links in emails that claim to be from your bank. Instead, type the URL, the website address, manually or bookmark it in your browser. Use really strong, hard-to-guess passwords. Don't use names, dictionary words, dates, TV shows, characters, or password one. Never give out PIN numbers or passwords to anyone. A real bank will never ask, and if they do, they're idiots. Always use private browsing when performing online banking or other sensitive activities, so your computer doesn't store a record of it which can be used later. Social networking sites such as Facebook, LinkedIn, MySpace, they've changed the world. We can now connect with everyone we've ever met. Many of us connect with people we've never met, yet we seem to trust them so much more than if we'd met them down the pub. We see a picture of someone we think we know or who looks nice and pleasant. They have friends and a nice biography. How do we know they are who they claim to be? Even if the account is owned by someone you really know, how do you know they haven't been hacked and it's now being used by someone else? So be a bit sceptical and verify people are who they claim to be. The problem is that far too many of us publish too much online about ourselves. We put our dates of birth up for everyone to wish us happy birthday. We put our phone number up so we can be contacted. We play games which prompt us for details about our schools, pets, parents and family trees. We announce to the world our travel plans, and we now can sign into locations as we visit or pass them by. How easy we're making it for those with mischief in mind. And wait until insurance companies start refusing to pay when we're burgled, robbed or mugged. So think before you post things online. Who might see it now or in the future? Is it something to be proud of, or might it be a major embarrassment in 5 years' time? Are you risking your employment or your business? Is it the kind of information I would announce to the world is a question you should ask yourself. Which brings me on to apps. They're great, aren't they? You can get them for mobile phones, tablets and computers, and they have them on Facebook and so on. But who wrote the app? What is it doing behind the scenes? Some providers check the code, but it's impossible to be 100% sure without a really thorough reverse engineering exercise. For all you know, they could be collecting all your contacts, recording your interactions and tracking your movements, and passing this information back to the author. Do you ever read the license agreement? Do you know, for example, that many of the latest smartphones track your location and in some cases feed it back to the vendor? But don't worry, you agreed to it in the license agreement. Only download or make use of apps that are absolutely essential for legitimate purposes. A quick word on email, as I'm sure some of us oldies still use it in preference to Facebook and YouTube. It is inherently not secure. Email is a transmission over the internet, and unless you have relevant tools, it is not encrypted in any way. Even if the connection between your computer and your email provider is encrypted using SSL or TLS, once the email leaves your domain or network, it is no longer secure and could be intercepted and read by anyone on the route it takes. Protect yourself and your company from spam and phishing attacks using email filtering. If you do get emails and you don't know who they're from, don't open them, don't click on links in them or reply to them. Spammers like return emails. It proves they have a real address. Here are 8 simple but effective rules for protecting yourself online. Keep up to date on software updates and patches. Enable security tools. Use different, strong, hard to guess passwords and create a system. Watch what you post. Assume everything is public. Don't trust blindly. The internet never forgets, so be on your guard. And here are some online do's. And here are some online don'ts. Well, I hope you found the video useful. If you have any questions or need any further information, please feel free to contact me. My name is Lee Heselwood. My business is Secure Thinking. Thank you for watching.
Good afternoon, Secure Thinking. How can I help? Yes, I'll just put you through. Good afternoon, Secure Thinking. How can I help?